Okay, good morning everyone, and thank you everyone for joining Caltrans and our partners. We are celebrating this completion of the State Highway 99 Streetscape Safety Rehab Improvement Project in Live Oak. As you can see out here, great project. I'm Johnny Tan, Caltrans Project Manager. As a project manager, it's been my pleasure to be part of this complete street construction project, to see the amazing transformation of the downtown corridor. To set the mood and to kick off the celebration, we'll have the musical interlude by Audrey Shepard, who will play America the Beautiful on her saxophone. Audrey is currently on a job rotation, serving as the customer service liaison in the public information office in our district. During her off hours, she is the principal bassoonist for the Auburn Symphony and the Folsom Lake Symphony. Audrey has a music degree from University of Michigan and is working toward becoming a certified civil engineer. Please welcome Audrey. As part of its mission to expand artistic awareness and engagement in arts, Yuba Sutter Art and Culture established the position of a poet laureate. For the past 2 years, Marcelo Hernandez Castillo has spread the art of poetry across the region as official Yuba Sutter Poet Laureates, the only 2 county poet laureates in California. A resident of Yuba County, he is an effective teaching artist working at the local alternative high school. He also teaches at St. Mary University and Ashland University. He earned his bachelor degree from California State University, Sacramento, and was the first undocumented student to graduate from Helen Zell Writers Program at the University of Michigan. Marcelo has the written special poem for us today. Please welcome Marcelo.
I'll read a poem about the land because we excavated land and the ancestral land of the Nisenan people that we are in, and I wanted to acknowledge that. Just 2 short poems. The National Poet Laureate of the United States is Joy Harjo. This is her poem. My house is the red earth. It could be the center of the world. I've heard New York, Paris, or Tokyo called the center of the world. But I say it is magnificently humble. You could drive by and miss it. Radio waves can obscure it. Words cannot construct it, for there are some sounds left to sacred wordless forms. For instance, the fool crow, picking through trash near the corral, understands the center of the world as greasy strips. Just ask him. He doesn't have to say that the earth has turned scarlet through the fierce belief. After centuries of heartbreak and laughter, he perches on the blue bowl of the sky and laughs. And so, as poet laureate, I read this poem about the plants that grow in the area and their curative properties. Black locust, yerba santa, doveweed, chaparral broom, Black sunflower seeds evenly placed on a table, the sound of them opening and closing. This mile after mile, the curative property of febrifuge for fever, a tincture and tea from the bark to stimulate the respiratory system, treats chronic asthma not just for a poem person, but a person. Oak, a cold infusion for the common flu and congestion, more lemon-scented gum for a bewildering path I could never follow. The last adjacent mile, the last bird thrumming like a nervous finger. Emollient as an atoned self-portrait of this landscape. Dear cousin, dear mother, dear son, dear idol brother, your blue opera swimming down this river, your greatest good. I document the oldest tree in existence. I run into a bellflower. I run into a field and clamor of bells. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcelo. To provide more details about the project, I would like to introduce Caltrans District 3 North Region Director Amajit Benapal. Director Benapal has more than 30 years of experience with Caltrans, including his current assignment since September 2014 as District 3 Director, which covers 11 counties, including Yuba, Sutter County. He also has the project delivery responsibility for 22 counties that make up Caltrans District 1 and District 2 North Region. He manages and operating a budget of more than $300 million, as well as currently 179 active construction contracts value nearly $2.5 billion. Please welcome Amajit Benapal.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Great.
That's what we should be feeling. Well, it's my great pleasure to be joining all of you, especially the community members, our law enforcement, our elected members, to be joining in a celebration of our completion of Live Oak Complete Streets project. It is a wonderful day in our time to be actually celebrating this, and it's a wonderful accomplishment, us as from federal government, state government, local government, and especially at a community level, to be having this momentous occasion to actually celebrate the investment we are making in our community. The investment which is bringing pride and joy for us and for future generation to be able to celebrate, and hopefully at your barbecue and your dinner is going to be one of the topic of a discussion that you should be feeling proud of. And we are actually having this discussion at a very great place under this live oak, which is what this city has been named after. It's one of the only few actually remaining 35 live oaks, what I've been not reminded of, actually exist since actually US Constitution was signed back in 1787. So we should be actually feeling that we are not only actually celebrating a project which is going to be setting a stage for the future generation, but we also have an opportunity to build from what the past generations has done for us, is to bring the joy and pride. And this investment of $36 million in our community is going to long ways to actually set the stage for not only bringing the jobs, but also trying to actually bring more businesses and give people the opportunity to slow down, stop, and actually look at the history of this town, so they can actually be feeling good about trying to make this great place or this great city to be their future home. Project like this does not happen in a vacuum. It's actually a testament to the community which worked very hard trying to actually see what they wanted to envision for themselves. This is not a Caltrans project, it's your project. You are the one who actually did all the hard work in terms of trying to bring this to the forefront. You worked with your elected members, got Congressman Garmendi to actually come here. I don't know what he was doing that day, but it was the lucky day because he stopped. And as a result, community and Caltrans worked together trying to actually make a request for $10 million in a Tiger grant. And soon as that Tiger grant was approved, this town actually made the face of the nation immediately that how did they got $10 million? And how can others be actually following your footsteps to bring that investment? As a result of that $10 million, we invested $2.3 million from Senate Bill 1 and rest from our gas excise tax to bring a total of $36 million. And as a result, not only we are able to take care of the payment, we are able to build beautiful sidewalks, landscape, drainage features, lighting, and many other things which you are going to be enjoying going forward. The part which I remember that we've actually been taking care of this road from since World War I, since as this organization came into existence. And many of you probably remember, you can tell the difference where the parking lot began, where the parking lot ended. And if you would have to stop during the winter months, because we use the side of the road for drainage purposes, hopefully you didn't actually lost your wallet, because if you did, you will have to bring a fishing rod to find it. Right now, you wouldn't have to worry about it. You actually have a great place to park, you have a great place to walk, and that's what we are trying to do, is invest in our communities where we are actually able to make it not only for our interstate commerce, because you are the breadbasket of not only the California but rest of the nation, to get the commerce to rest of the nation, but also for our kids to be able to walk safely. And anyone with the disabilities can actually cross the road safely and don't have to worry about if a truck or other vehicles are not paying attention to them. And that's really what we are trying to accomplish. And it's as a result of the perseverance and partnership which we have experienced with our elected members to actually get us to this point. And that's what you should be all proud of. And I'm great to see how many of you from community has joined along with our law enforcement. So I wanted to take a moment and give a big applause to every one of you, and please join me in that so we can feel great about what we have accomplished. My job is actually the easier job because I get to stand here and to talk about all the good things, but there are a lot of great folks who are working and trying to make this thing happen. So I'm going to take a moment to actually acknowledge many of those in the audience today. And the reason for that is I won't be able to talk about everyone, because if we did, we will be having dinner together. So I know you guys all have some time and places to go, but I do want to take a moment to recognize some of the key players. Starting with Congressman Garmendi's office, who's been a great champion for this project. I wanted to acknowledge that his staff, Debbie Gibbs, Jacqueline Harsbro, and John Niclary, they were always go-to people who were actually trying to assist us in getting us through. And from Congressman Lamafa, he's been a great champion working, even though despite the different parties. I know John Garmendi and Doug Lamafa worked hand in hand to make sure that this project, if it's going to run into any hurdles, that they are going to be supporters and are trying to push us through. And we are glad to have Terry Dubose joining us as well. From our state representative, it's been great to have both Senator Nielsen and Assembly Member Gallagher to be always available to us on a phone call away. So I wanted to acknowledge Laura Nicholson in the back. And I don't know if Stephen Heater is with us today from Jim Nicholas's office, but we are also glad to have amazing Ben Amari and Brandon Pisani from Assembly Member Gallagher's office in the assistance as well. I would be remiss to state that we've been fortunate to have the previous council in the city of Live Oak and the current council in the city of Live Oak, who's been great and continue to be supportive of all of this, what's been going on. But I also, the county supervisors, they've been actually the strong champion along with us in terms of trying to make sure, and you're going to be hearing from your local member and then also your local city council members in that regard as well. Wanted to acknowledge our law enforcement partners, because it's a dangerous job when you are actually working on the side of the road and your office is actually next to a live traffic. So we wanted to thank CHP and Sheriff's Office for your support, to our staff along with the along with our contractors, the staff members who's been working on the road. Wanted to acknowledge our contractor, De Silva Gates, who knew that we are working in a community and we need to make sure that we are taking care of our businesses and communities' concerns in mind. And they work very closely in terms of trying to make sure that those things are taken care of. These are the folks who actually brought us in the forefront. First of all, Johnny Tan, the project manager, and many of his predecessors who has worked tirelessly with the community to continue to keep working through the issues and making sure we bring resolution to it. Secondly, I wanted to acknowledge our construction team, led by Dwayne Gandy, who was the resident engineer and the local face, and many of you might have seen him. Please wave your hand. Thank you. And he was supported by the leadership from construction, Mishak Okpala and Matt Solano. So thank you to both of you gentlemen trying to support our construction team. And a design team which actually worked closely with our community trying to put this contractor together was led by Eric Souza, who's a design senior at the time. Eric, where are you? All right. Man, you're sitting and it's hard to see you even though you're a very tall individual. He was supported by our environmental Maggie Ritter. Traffic team was led by Fernando Rivera. Tressa Lamone. Right-of-way was led by Janelle Wilson. Stacy Senner from Right-of-way Acquisition. Brian Goldman from Utilities. Richard Avila from Right-of-way Engineering. Nikki Johnson from Landscape Architect. Spencer Edelman from Electrical. And these are the individuals who worked tirelessly trying to make sure that the contract is going to be reflecting the values of this community. Lastly but not the least, our PIO team has been working tirelessly in terms of not only getting the word out, but more importantly, sharing the pictures of before and after and as things were progressing. When you get a moment, please take a look at those pictures which we have set it on the side. Many of you probably remember all of those potholes which you have to deal with, but look at the before and after situation that all of this thing which was actually led by Gilbert and rest of the PIO team, which kept you appraised in that context. So please join me giving the big hand to all of the Caltrans and our local city members as well. I also wanted to acknowledge some of the leadership members which are helping me to actually deliver my portion of the responsibility. So because they're the one who's been doing the heavy lifting. Andy Alvarado, who's actually the chief of construction. Along with that, we also got Brian Alcansal, who's leading the traffic program. So I wanted to thank you guys for doing your service as well. And if I missed anyone, you already know it. So with that, I will stop there. And again, very proud of what we are able to accomplish as one team from federal, state, and local level, working closely with our community members to accomplish this great feat so we can actually enjoy for generations to come. And I wanted to thank the community for your patience while we were through the construction. You might have felt some dust and some inconvenience, but that has not gone unnoticed on us. And as a result of it, we're able to give you a great present, and hopefully you are enjoying it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Supervisor Nick McKelly. Nick represents the Live Oak area as District 1 Sutter County Supervisor. A third-generation Sutter County farmer, his family began farming in Live Oak in the 1920s. At the age of 20, he took over the family farm after his father passed away, running the McKelly Enterprises. He also is the secretary and treasurer of Lomo Receiving Company in Live Oak. He served as the board member of the Yuba Sutter Farm Bureau and the California Drive Plum Board, where they served the Government Affairs and Management Committee. Please welcome Nick McKelly.
Want to thank you. Want to thank Amergy, Caltrans, Gilbert for having us all here today for the official opening of the highway widening project. As we know, this amazing project is a result of a lot of hard work and a collaboration between many agencies. This project will now be a point of pride for the city far into the future. I would like to say a special thanks to Jason Banks and Lochveer Gog, who's with us here. It was Lochveer, you were the mayor at the time, I believe, right? Yes, they were the ones who put in the Tiger Grant application, which funded this project. We also have in large part to thank Congressman Garamendi. The grant application was submitted through Congressman Garamendi's office, and he played a large role in pushing this through for the citizens of Live Oak. And it's the citizens who will be benefiting from the highway widening for generations to come. So a big thank you to Congressman Garamendi. Finally, I want to say something to the business owners of Live Oak. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the way you have persevered through so much. Not only were you able to survive through 2 years of COVID-19, but you have that crisis coupled with a highway project that had your storefronts closed for an extended period of time. I'm so proud of all of you, and I hope that you were able to endure all of this and adapt to the circumstances and stay successful. I hope this widening and beautification of our highway will bring you even more success and prosperity, because we all know that you've earned it. Thank you very much.
Let me introduce Live Oak Mayor Nancy Santana. Mayor Santana is a business development and sales professional with experience in logistics, banking, and alternative energy industries. She is an active volunteer with Yuba Sutter Chambers of Commerce and the Relay for Life. Welcome, Mayor.
Good day, everyone. Thank you all for being here with us today as we celebrate our highway project. I go to work every day confident that our city can and will accomplish great things like this. When I look at my children, I am reminded that every decision we make as elected office holders shapes the daily lives and future of all our children. I want our residents to know that I am working for their families just as hard as I work for my own. This day, surrounded by residents, elected leaders, and partners from the business and civic communities, I have the honor of celebrating with you all the highway project done by Caltrans. I want to make note that this was done, the project was done, and everyone worked during COVID. We had all these employees from everywhere working during COVID. A special thank you to Caltrans and all the people that made this a success. This is something for us to enjoy for our future and the future generations. Again, thank you all for coming, and God bless the city of Live Oak.
Representing the business in Live Oak is the owner and operator of Live Oak Pizza Factory. Just down the boulevard from here is Bob Wooten, who also served as the city vice mayor. He has been tossing pizza since he opened 32 years ago. Bob strives to make his customer feel like his restaurant is their own pizzeria. Over the years, he has been extremely involved in the school, churches, Little League, youth, football, and soccer, and various service organizations. In 2018, he was elected to the Live Oak City Council. He served 1 year as mayor of the city and is currently serving as the vice mayor. Please welcome Bob Wooten.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here. I'm so thankful for having this opportunity to speak here. Most everything's been said. I'm at the tail end of the line here. I would just like to reflect for a minute that when we came here in 1990, the highway was crowned. There was ditches on both sides that always got flooded. There was highline wires, telephone wires, lots of stuff hanging out around the highway. And as time went on, the businesses came in. There weren't very many eating establishments here, but the town grew. The thing that impressed me about this town is that even though we kind of looked a little run down, we were very friendly, family style people. We believed in family. We took care of each other. And as we come today, this is a grand occasion because you can see our skies are clear over here. Our streets are level. The ditches are covered in with nice gutters and sidewalks. And I don't believe we're going to have to fish our wallets out of the water. That was kind of funny. I just see great opportunities for our city here. I am saying that this opens a new gateway to the future for new businesses, and it gives us a new perspective on things, a new perspective. But we are going to keep the same family environment. So we thank you all so much for being here. As your pizzeria tosser, I do appreciate all the years of support that I've gotten from this community. And I just love all of you. I want to say I appreciate Caltrans. When I drove around when it was over 100 degrees and I saw the men and women working very hard, it made me feel very appreciative to see them persevering through the hardships, persevering through the COVID, persevering through angry moms and dads trying to get their kids to school. They persevered, and we appreciate that. And we thank you so much. So now I would say that's it. Thanks.
Before I go to the final speakers, I would like to acknowledge the former Live Oak Council member, Diana Hodges. She was, can you raise your hand, please? Thank you. She was she was one of the major contributor to the Tiger Grant application and the major supporter of this project. Thank you. Now on to our final speaker is Sergeant Brian Whitmer of Yuba Sutter Office, California Highway Patrol. The Yuba Sutter office is unique among CHP operation in California. It is the only CHP office that's in the state that serves 2 counties. The region boasts a variety of cultural and geographic diversity from the vast Yuba County foothill communities to the prolific agricultural industry in the valley. Please welcome Sergeant Whitmer.
California Highway Patrol is proud to have partnered with Caltrans and our allied agencies to increase safety in Sutter County. This is one of several projects within Yuba and Sutter counties that the California Highway Patrol has collectively managed to ensure that they have a successful conclusion. The State Route 99 project itself increased the roadway lanes from 2 lanes to 5 lanes in some locations. It upgraded drainage and utility systems. It flattened cross slopes, added new sidewalks and curb ramps. It rebuilt 2 signalized intersections and enhanced pedestrian safety with sidewalks, lighting, signaling, benches, and landscaping. All of these improvements will enhance safety for motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians while creating that pedestrian-focused downtown environment. With our partners, we are committed to a collaborative approach for increasing public safety through enforcement, education, and engineering. As part of this interagency cooperation, communication, and management, this roadway is significantly safer for the motoring public and the community. We appreciate everyone that has taken a part in having this successful project. Thank you.
Again, I would like to thank everyone here today for attending. This is a signature project for Caltrans and the community. To mark the project completion, I'd invite our speakers and partners to come up to cut the ceremonial blue ribbons. After the ribbon cutting, please enjoy the refreshments provided by our contractor, the Silver Gates. Thank you.